This weekend, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is set to mark a pivotal moment in Lewis Hamilton's career. It will be his final race with Mercedes, the team he's been with since 2013. Over these years, Hamilton has won 6 of his 7 world championships, solidifying his legacy in Formula One. However, 2024 has been anything but smooth for the British driver as he enters his farewell season with Mercedes. One major frustration has been his one-lap pace. Hamilton, who's known for excelling in qualifying, has struggled this year. His teammate, George Russell, has consistently outperformed him, leading their head-to-head 1:8.5. In Qatar, it was more of the same. Russell was half a second faster in qualifying, and after sprint qualifying, Hamilton summed up his feelings with a simple "I'm just slow." Same every weekend. Despite the car feeling decent, there didn't seem to be much more to say. Once seen as an unstoppable force in Formula One, Hamilton's struggles in 2024 have been hard to ignore. His confidence, which has always been a hallmark of his success, now seems tested in ways we've rarely seen before. This season, Hamilton has struggled to connect with the W15, the car Mercedes has produced for 2024. The question on everyone's mind is what's causing his inconsistency. There's no obvious explanation, especially when you look at his teammate, George Russell, who has been fast in almost every session, particularly on Saturdays. So, is it the car or something else? Hamilton's form has been unpredictable. Just weeks ago in Brazil, he appeared far off the pace, struggling to match his usual performance. But in Las Vegas, things took a turn. Starting from 10th on the grid, Hamilton battled his way to finish second, putting in a remarkable drive. It was a performance that left even him puzzled, as it felt so different from the struggles he had just faced. The contrast between his performances is stark, and Hamilton himself can't quite explain it. There's clearly something going on, whether it's with the car, the team, or something else entirely. But despite his 7 world championships and immense skill, Hamilton seems unable to pinpoint the root cause of his struggles. It's a situation that's raising questions not just about his form, but about the future of his relationship with Mercedes. The 2024 Qatar Grand Prix was another low point for Hamilton. He started the race in 6th, already half a second behind his teammate Russell, who had secured pole position for the 2nd race in a row. The situation only worsened from there. Hamilton finished 12th, well outside the points, and his race was further complicated by 2 penalties, one for a false start and another for speeding in the pit lane. At one point, over the radio, Hamilton even asked his team if his car was broken, as he struggled to keep up in the later stages of the race. His frustration boiled over, and he was heard pleading with his team to retire the car, but his request was denied. When an interviewer suggested that Hamilton's struggles might not be entirely his fault, the 7-time world champion responded with a wry smile, saying, "Who knows? I'm definitely not fast anymore." It was a candid moment, revealing just how difficult this season has been for him, even after all his success. Despite his unmatched skills and incredible achievements over the years, even Hamilton couldn't escape the weight of his ongoing struggles in 2024. When Hamilton was asked about his struggles at the 2024 Qatar Grand Prix, he admitted, "I don't even know where to start. It's different every weekend. There's nothing I can say that's going to make any difference." He explained that Mercedes was working on several technical areas, but it all seemed very complex. The working window. For the car, the aero package and tire management all play a part in the performance, and Hamilton pointed out that some teams have a bigger window for performance, while others have a narrower one. He mentioned the recent race in Las Vegas as an example of how Mercedes had managed to get the tires in the right window, which gave them a performance edge over others. But despite these explanations, the unusually large gaps between Hamilton and Russell have led some fans to speculate that something deeper might be going on. The 0.4-second difference between them in Qatar, for example, seemed too large to be purely down to driver skill. For much of the year, the cars were supposed to be of equal spec, with only a few notable exceptions like in Monaco when Russell got the updated front wing after Hamilton declined it. These small adjustments have only fueled conspiracy theories, especially from fans who think that the car development might be favoring Russell. But Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has been quick to dismiss such claims, calling them crazy made-up conspiracies. As Hamilton heads into the Abu Dhabi weekend, it's clear that all he wants is to close this chapter with Mercedes and move forward. In an honest moment, he shared that he doesn't expect a sudden improvement. "I don't think we're going to end up on a high," he said. "What's important is how we turn up and give it our best shot. I don't anticipate a particularly better weekend than we've had in the past, But naturally, I'll try to go in with low hopes and come out with a better result. This statement sums up his mentality heading into what could be his final race for Mercedes, but it also speaks to the frustration he's been feeling throughout this season. After years of dominance, it's tough to watch a champion like Hamilton struggle. Yet, with the next chapter of his career awaiting him at Ferrari, there's potential for a fresh start. The Ferrari car is expected to offer more promise than the challenging W15, and Hamilton's move to the Italian team could mark a resurgence fueled by a mental reset. Despite Hamilton's comments about not being fast anymore, Ferrari's team principal, Ferrari Vasseur, isn't concerned. "I'm not worried," he said. "Just look at the 50 laps Hamilton did in Vegas, starting P10 and finishing right behind Russell, who won the race. I'm not worried at all." However, not everyone shares the same optimism. Former F1 driver Karun Chandhok has raised concerns about Hamilton's qualifying form as he prepares for his move to Ferrari. Chandhok finds Hamilton's recent struggles in qualifying particularly puzzling, especially considering his history of starting from the front of the grid more than 100 times. His last pole position came at the 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix, but since then, qualifying has been a real challenge. In Las Vegas, Hamilton qualified 10th after making unforced errors in Q3. Although he managed to fight his way up to second place during the race, a strong qualifying performance could have put him in contention for the win. Chandhok believes that Hamilton's dip in qualifying form could become a serious issue when he joins Ferrari in 2025. "It's a massive gap," he said, referring to Hamilton's deficit to teammate George Russell in qualifying. "It's not just a matter of a few tenths, it's a real difference for a driver with over 100 pole positions. Such a dip in form is unusual. If he continues to qualify 5 places behind Charles Leclerc next year, it could make a big impact," Chandhok added. That's something Hamilton will need to address before he joins Ferrari. As Hamilton prepares for his Ferrari move, the 2024 season has undoubtedly been a challenging one, filled with many unanswered questions. Will a fresh start at Ferrari help him rediscover his rhythm, or are his struggles more than just car-related? As we look ahead to 2025, the answer remains uncertain. What's clear is that Hamilton's legacy as one of F1's greatest drivers is unquestionable. But the question now is whether he can bounce back and reclaim his dominant form, especially with the added pressure of competing alongside young talent like Charles Leclerc. Only time will tell if this tough season will lead to a resurgence or if Hamilton's best days are behind him. With the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix set to be his swan song with Mercedes, the world will be watching, hoping to see the champion rise one last time with his current team. It's the end of an era, but with a new chapter on the horizon at Ferrari, there's still plenty of excitement to come in Hamilton's journey. This weekend, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is set to mark a pivotal moment in Lewis Hamilton's career. It will be his final race with Mercedes, the team he's been with since 2013. Over these years, Hamilton has won 6 of his 7 world championships, solidifying his legacy in Formula One. However, 2024 has been anything but smooth for the British driver as he enters his farewell season with Mercedes. One major frustration has been his one-lap pace. Hamilton, who's known for excelling in qualifying, has struggled this year. His teammate, George Russell, has consistently outperformed him, leading their head-to-head 1:8.5. In Qatar, it was more of the same. Russell was half a second faster in qualifying, and after sprint qualifying, Hamilton summed up his feelings with a simple "I'm just slow." Same every weekend. Despite the car feeling decent, there didn't seem to be much more to say. Once seen as an unstoppable force in Formula One, Hamilton's struggles in 2024 have been hard to ignore. His confidence, which has always been a hallmark of his success, now seems tested in ways we've rarely seen before.